Hello, Tanya.
Hey, Celeste. I was just getting water.
Ah, perfect. Well, you're right on time. Um, you may be, well, no, yeah, I was going to say you might be the only person tonight, but I know sometimes people have to come at the last second. So it's very
Yeah,
possible that they'll be here soon. How are
yeah, for
you?
sure. I'm okay. How are you doing?
Just okay?
Just okay. This whole
Yeah.
pandemic is really getting me down, so,
Oh, yeah,
right?
it's in the vibe, you know? Like,
Yeah, I just feel it even on my street, right? Everybody's so, I don't know, just down.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Everybody's not on their our porches most of the time. It's
Um,
just like, what are you gonna see? There's not much to see because people are not out and about all that much.
uh,
And you see the same thing every day, right?
I guess you know what, I wish I could, I'm feeling you. I just can't concur. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I've just had such a good experience because I love the alone time, and my street
Yeah.
has a concert every night. Um,
Really, eh?
yeah, they got written up. It's like a big deal. We would hear it tonight, except they don't do it on Monday and Wednesday now. And
Oh,
it's phenomenal. They have amps, they have all their instruments out, the speakers. It's become a thing. People are coming from other streets.
so
And
is it
so
in the park? Is it in the park, Celeste?
it's
Or
right outside the door. It's right out there.
really?
Yeah. When just before you joined this series, I was afraid people were going to have a concert instead of a yoga class because, the windows are open and they're doing Pink Floyd, and it was like, this is great, but the speaker thing is good.
Wow.
It's so I can tell you that it has changed the street. It has brought people together. We know all the kids. It's like a parade because it's only 25 houses long. And
Right.
so there's a person at each end, and then they go car. And then people see that everybody's out on the street because people are coming from around. So they're leaning against cars, and people are bringing
Right.
lawn chairs. And Canada Day, the concert started at 2, and oh my God, they went for hours. Like, I came home the other night and they hadn't gone to bed yet, and it was 10:15. The concert starts at 7:30. And they were,
Holy.
yeah, so they end up staying out and sharing a glass. And so it has turned into such a community that it's been amazing.
That's good.
So,
Eh?
yeah, so the spirit here is really good. And then I guess just when I go out, you know how you practice like keeping to feel alive, and if you
Yeah.
start to feel, the tight energy, because I'm just finding that people are really capable of having a good smile and share because they need it so much. So I'm finding more eye contact. Just because we have to navigate on the sidewalk and know who's going to go on the road and
Right.
all that stuff that we need to do, that I'm finding that I'm making more contact. So I'm having a good experience with it.
Mm,
I mean, it's really tough financially. It's not that like it's made things easy.
right.
It's just helping me see how meaningful what I do is, that I do want to continue doing it. I won't get a job as kinesiologist, like it's bringing, like everybody else, it's really showing me where I want to spend my time and what matters and
Right.
whom. Yeah.
Interesting.
So yeah, it's been I talked to one of my clients that's a lawyer, and criminal lawyer, and he says it's changed everything in the law practice. And he said, Celeste, where normally I'd have to drive for an hour to get a 10-minute testimonial, now it's done. Everything's is so much easier. He
Yeah,
said, so it's really
everything's
going to change. Yeah, it's going to
online.
change the way systems work. Um, so I'm really psyched to see. And just for example, I just got off the phone with this incredible person who works for 40 years of Zen. And what it is it's biofeedback, they do neurological
Uh-huh.
biohacking. So they hook you up and they have
Uh-huh.
you work through your stuff. It's 5 days, and basically, I feel like I'm selling you 5
Wow.
days. They basically, for example, have you recall something, and then they say, okay, well, we're going to have you forgive those people, and they're like, whoa, and then they bring you into ego disillusion and go into non-duality, pure joy, presence, and then they bring up, you know, the story, the incident, and then you forgiving, and how you change the brain patterns, and then how to keep that mapping, basically.
Right.
And the results are just profound. So we're actually going to do another interview on Sunday, because I want to take her on to my Celeste TV on the website and interview her. She's just Alice Miller, phenomenal person. And so I'm finding this time like a good time to study, and a good time to um, reach into subjects that are really relevant, and take that time to dig, and
Hmm.
discovering some people that I've always known, but I didn't know the extent of their work. So I've been doing a lot of research, and yeah, just taking advantage of studying online as well. So
Right.
it's been a really enriching time, and the bit of quietness I'm loving, and you know, you can ride your bike more because there's less traffic, and I know
Oh,
it's
there's a
picking up
lot.
now,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, for sure. Like all of
yeah.
that is great, but it's just, when you're not used to working from home every day.
Oh God, yeah. Is there a way that with the patios open now, like I saw Starbucks, I saw people on the patio out there today,
Hmm.
like it was full, you know, of course, only 4 seats because they're all spaced out.
Right.
But is there any way for you to, I saw a guy working in the park the other day, like, can you do a little bit outside? I know it's 30 degrees tomorrow, and is there a way that you could connect more like that?
Well, I have to try it because the thing is, I can't bring my laptop. I have to because I tried, like, even going to a different room, let's say, right? And I could
Yeah.
only do it for about 45 minutes because I had to charge my laptop,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
The whole charging thing, right, is
Yeah.
not, and
Yeah.
then you're limited as what you can do with your personal device, right? Because
Yes.
you can't see documents, you can't review documents, you can't,
Right.
right?
Right.
So it's a little bit different,
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So you're limited in that way, plus the expectations are, it's funny, when you work from home, the expectations are immediate. Like, there are a lot, um, there's more stress because they figure you're at home, so you should be responding quickly. You know what I mean?
Wow. So they think there's no interruptions.
Not at all. Not at all. If you don't respond, Celeste, within 15 minutes to 20 minutes, they're like, what's going on? It's really bad. Like,
Oh, so it's actually tightened everything for you as far
yes.
as time and
Yeah.
requirements.
Yeah. Big
Wow.
time.
Wow. Linda's just coming on. And Linda, if you're hearing us yet, and Tanya and I were just talking about, you know, Tanya's working from home and the challenges,
Yes.
and
Yeah,
are you finding that there's more demands on you to be speedier in your replies, etc.?
for sure. I caught the tail end of the discussion and I could immediately identify what the conversation was about, because that's exactly my experience. Is we never used to use Zoom meetings and team meetings before. And just like when they changed from electronic format, from paper to electronic, where we assumed things would get easier, it got busier. It's the same with this. Now we've moved from in person to electronic, and the expectation is everything will be instantaneous. And it's a challenge, because if you don't actually create a safe space that's your space, they own you. And
Yeah.
Yes.
you can't function like that indefinitely.
Yes. Yes.
Which is why we
Can
love the
I,
classes. This is our space.
yeah, this is your space. Okay, so I'm gonna start the class with that. Hi, Amy.
Celeste, on that note, are you
Yeah,
at all accepting people into the studio?
I've decided that as of next week, starting Monday, yes. So I
Okay,
will
so
be. I know people were launching tomorrow,
yes,
many places in Toronto. So yeah, we'll be starting on Monday. So you are welcome to come for your restorative class next Thursday here.
but not Saturday, not tomorrow.
Not yet. Yeah,
Not started yet.
I'm gonna
Okay.
actually announce it tomorrow. That will
Okay.
start on Monday. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for letting me
Yeah,
know.
I had to feel what was right. And for those that need online, it will be a fusion. So I'll still have the class online, and you'll see me disappear as I go and, you know, change people's bodies for them, and give little adjustments and Thai massage. So
The
that will
online
be,
is perfect, Celeste. It opens up possibilities for us that didn't exist before. So please keep it going. We'll come to one or the other.
that's what it looks like. Thank you. I'm really figuring it out as I go. And I'll just give a little plug and then I'll give us some extra time. I will be launching Celeste Inspires fully as a online yoga classes, you know, everything from 10 minutes to 30-minute classes. And so it will be all types of classes for very specific needs. And that will be my project that I'll be working on this year. So that will be online. There'll also be like Yoga with Celeste, and will be all classes that you can access. So that'll be the future. So I'm looking forward to letting you know as that more and more classes I have on the website for you to use. So we can start. Let's start on your backs as always, and begin by releasing the entire back into the floor. And if you have some lovely music, please play it. And then you can have your selection. And I will take us into the right light. Here we are. Good. Okay, so you can begin again, right on your backs. And just have the bolster right under the knees as I come into position in a moment. We are basically always working towards one experience, and that is the experience of being exactly here. And I was just sharing at the beginning of this class that I just got off the phone with a woman who works with people I'm just going to tell you this story because I'm not kidding. I am blown away by this person. I'm almost ready to go to Vancouver Island tonight. This woman works with people in a 5-day program. And you guys are probably very familiar with neuroimaging, PET. And they do, you know, imaging of the brain. And they basically teach you to come into non-duality, to come into dissolution of the ego so that you feel pure presence. And as you know, that's what my book is about. And so they teach it in 5 days of neuroimaging and helping you to go into the true brainwaves that are in your innate peaceful state. I only listened to her for 30 minutes. We exchanged ideas, and I am amazed at how we are living in a time that we could actually watch and map what exactly is happening in our bodies by the brain waves, and then map it into the right place, if you will. And not the right place because it's correct, but the right place that is peace. In Buddhism, they use the term right language, right eating, right speaking. So for example, when somebody's speaking, they speak from such a place that what they know is arising in each instant, and that's what comes out. And so right in Buddhism is when you're eating, when you're doing right eating. For example, something I started 20 years ago is when I eat. So I don't like check emails or watch a movie, or like I eat. and then I taste the food, and I feel gratitude for the farmer that made the, you know. And this is what COVID is giving us a chance to do, is to slow down and to feel what it's like to be out of the illusion that we live in, of the pace that we're required to live in. And I realized working and living from home, that you're doing that still. And maybe the extra hour a day that you might be allotted due to less travel time is giving you a little bit more of a peace break. And this program costs $15,000, this 5-day program. And the results are so profound that the highest gift they're given is forgiveness of anyone in their life that caused them any kind of trauma or loss. And of course, or I'll say, we know that forgiveness is probably a buzzword now, just like mindfulness. And it's that capacity to not have a thought about somebody that perhaps had a bad experience that they did to you. And I just want to say that being in the brainwaves that are peace means you have all the other feelings, as you know, I've been teaching. It's that the feelings guide you. And what I love about understanding the mind is every feeling that you have, you can trust, because the feeling is showing you what you need. So if you feel anxiety, you feel separate. You need to connect. And by the way, the fear mechanism in anxiety also has oxytocin in it, and you'll recognize that neural hormone from the cuddle hormone. And the release of oxytocin when you feel anxiety is showing you to connect, because it's actually causing you to want to create a social action. So even in fear, oxytocin is there. And that means that fear can be loneliness, fear can be isolation, it can be anxiety, it can be frustration, is asking you to connect. So fear is not bad. And so every emotion that we have that roils over our peace and perhaps stops our peace is showing us what we need. So we can trust it and we can rely on the emotion to create a true action that leads us towards a need. And, you know, my book's got many examples, and happy to point to them if you're wondering where to look. But speaking with this woman today and realizing we've gotten to the point in our evolution in technology that now we can actually say, oh, you're in peace right now in your brain from the scan. Oh, right now you just came out. What are you thinking? So they basically train them to know the place of peace, the thoughts that occur from that place, and how to keep those alive. And my next thought after that was, I could teach you that. You could teach you that. You know when you're in that place. And so I start you with that tonight, because we have the capacity to be in peace and be fluctuated and be in peace and be fluctuated and be in peace, and to have more and more of our brain available for peace. And because that's how we started our lives before we got inundated with conditioning. So tonight, as you're breathing, and now we come into total relaxation, know that you have the capacity at all times, whenever anything starts to spike, or you do feel what Tanya and I were talking about, the stressors at this time, to also feel right there a piece of presence that feels everything, but can't be taken into those escalating thoughts and feelings. They go together, and there's a steadiness. And if you ever get to go to Ella's, the butcher shop, sorry for vegans, on Pape, all you have to do is go there, and they'll get into peace. Those guys can sell you dead meat with the biggest happiness I've ever seen. So on that note, just come onto your backs and you are in your back. Just bend the knees, you've released the spine, and take the feet right to the top of the bolster. Feel your low back go. Feel yourself release. Get your shoulder blades under. Now, just take the arms overhead and reach through the fingertips. Extend through the backs of the arms, lengthen, and then exhale the arms down alongside the body. Great. And then inhale, take the arms up again. Get a great reach. Stretch out through the fingers, the shoulder blades are back and down. Excellent. And then exhale the arms back down to the body. Once more, inhale, reach the arms up, spread the fingers, open the chest, press the shoulder blades back, and now bend both knees to the left. Feet are just a little bit apart. And then breathe in, come on back up. We're going to do just once. Exhale to the right. Just a release of the low back. And then come on back to your center. Now I kind of boo-booed there. You really first want to do a low back stretch before you twist. So pull the knees in and have the knees together as the elbows bend. Pull in nice and snugly, keeping your breathing. Excellent. And then you can gently release the heels down. Let the left leg lengthen and then pull the right knee in and pull in really snug and then come on into circles. And then the other direction. Lovely. And then just pull the knee in tight, really tight. Breathing. Good. And then come on side to side. Keep the elbows bending to the outside. Breath. Lovely. And then you can let that right heel drop. Let the arms rest to the side and feel the increased warmth in that right thigh. Keep your breathing steady. Let your body go. Take in a deep breath and exhale. Great. Then on the next inhale, draw that left leg up and in. Hug in nice and snug. Come on into circles. And then the other direction. Good. And then just pull that knee in snug and really tight. And then come side to side. Breathing. Fabulous. And then you can let that heel down, straighten the leg over the bolster. Take the arms to the side. Let your body go again. And I'll take you right through a guided relaxation. So have your feet just rolled out in relaxation. Feel the weight of the backs of the knees. Feel the calves heavy on the bolster. Now you can take your shoulder blades under. Make sure they're under and down, and then just reposition the head so the neck is long. Bring awareness to your breathing. Feel the belly rise on the inhale and sink on your exhale. Belly rises on the inhale and sinks on your exhale. Rise on the inhale and sink on your exhale. Good, and then take the hands, the right hand to the belly, and then just take the left hand on top. Again, tune into your breathing and feel the belly rise on the inhale and sink on your exhale. Keep that going with your own rhythm, rising and falling. Breathing in, feeling your body expand, and exhaling and soften. Great. Continue to feel the back of the body in contact with the floor. And continue to feel everything in your body be soft. And then now release the hands to the floor. Turn the palms up to the ceiling. And as you continue to rest back, let's begin our guided relaxation with the feet. Feel the feet heavy and feel the heels on the floor. Be aware of the spaces in between the toes. Maybe they're starting to feel more like clouds, cotton, and soft. And then from that space, travel to the tops of the feet and feel that area warm and softened. And then to the ankles, soft, no movement or effort, allowing the heels to be heavy on the floor and the feet continue to soften outward. Then be aware of the weightlessness at the backs of the ankles and travel up to the backs of the calves. Feel the calves resting on the edge of the bolster. And feel the shins at the front, soft, long. These very resilient muscles that work all day when you stand. Now they get to soften and lengthen. And then be aware of the knees. Feel the knees soft. Feel the backs of the legs open. Feel the quads, the thighs, heavy and soft. And as you feel the backs of the legs soft and letting go, feel as if your whole lower body is heavier. And keep in mind that you are the body. And as you soften inside, as you feel soft, tender, and present, your body is the same. And then be aware of your pelvis, heavy, and how it can draw your tailbone down. Be aware of the back of the hips and the low back releasing. And feel the backs of the arms releasing into the floor. Good. Feel the palms turned up, rolled up, and the fingers naturally curled. And then imagine in your hands warmth. Imagine you've been given like a warm pack and it's sitting in the palms of your hands. You don't even need to hold it. And feel how this warm, heavy hand can help to pull the arms down as if they're going a little further into the floor and pulling the shoulders back. Maybe you can even start to feel the chest and the heart center open. Fantastic. And then do feel the open chest and heart. And I know how great it feels when the shoulders are back, your ribs are back, and your posture is open. So do a little bit of a compression. Press your shoulder blades back into the floor and then soften again. And again, press the shoulder blades back into the floor and soften again. Once more, press them back and soften. And then be aware of the length of the neck. Feel the weight of the head on the floor. Feel the forehead smooth and the eyes resting back in the sockets. Now, taking a couple of deep breaths. Lovely. Now you can take the hands to the ceiling, interlace the fingers, and draw the shoulder blades up off the floor as the wrists pull to the ceiling. Get a space in between the shoulder blades, and then take the arms over to the left, bend that left elbow, pull the right shoulder blade well off the floor. Do a little bit of a turn of your head to the left, and your head is just coming along for the ride. So you'll feel yourself naturally pulling over. And then you can take a deeper breath, expand into your upper back. Excellent. And then you can breathe in, draw back up. Come on over to the right. Draw that left shoulder blade across. Breathe in and out through the nose. Get the arm well across, opening through that left shoulder. And then draw all the way back. Let the arms release to the floor. Good. Now you can gently roll the head from side to side, keeping the body long. Good. And then you can gently just relax, let go. Let your whole back of your body soften. Lovely. As I leave you in silence, let your awareness rest on your breathing. And if your mind does go into something, because you are home, if you start to think about anything you need to do, didn't do, gotta do, could you come right back to the breath? And I'll give you a little reminder every once in a while. So let yourself go. Catch if any thought has arisen. See if you can drop back into the awareness of your breath. Keep on feeling how your body is letting go, how the front softens, how your shoulders are back and your neck is long and free. Now very gently bend your right knee and take the foot right to the top of the bolster. And just feel the right low back let go. And now bending the left knee up, take that left foot right to the top of the bolster. Feel the low back pressing a little further down. And then do a pelvic tilt without lifting the bum. Just press the low back down and then release. Press the low back down. So soft. And then release. And again, press the low back down and release. And last one, pressing the low back down and release. Excellent. Now you can take the feet together and do a very tiny, just about 6 inches sway of the knees from side to side. Getting a little massage into the sides of the sacrum. And of course, if you feel like going further, do listen to how your body is taking you into the right place. Good. And then you can come back to your center. Take the feet hip width apart. And then bend the knees up and in and hug right at the front or behind if that feels better. And pull the knees in, not too wide. And let the elbows bend as the low tailbone comes off the floor, bum off the floor. Good. Now just do anything here you'd like to do. Maybe a little rock side to side. Maybe circle the knees around, egg beater like, or maybe pull the knees apart and together gently, not too sudden. Keeping a nice flow with the breath. Now, one of the things that's measured in yoga to make sure that you're in the best nervous system, they can measure your nervous system, is to make sure that the inhale and the exhale are even. Now, if you want to go even further with that, if you do a longer exhale, then that's even more of a relaxation response. So see if you can have an even in and out breath. Take a few more breaths. Lovely. And then finish the heels right, bring them back onto the top of the bolster and rest the arms. Straighten the left leg out and then the right and release, let go. Good, feel the little changes. Let your body let go again and relax. Good, just staying with your breathing. Good, and now again, bend the right knee up, take it to the top of the bolster. And then take your left knee and your right foot together. And then take your right knee over the left. Now, see if you can have your right hip dropped as much as you can. And then take the left hand on the outside and tip over halfway to your left. And if you can go halfway and it's a piece of cake, come further, but you might need to take the foot off the bolster. You will actually. And you take it onto the outside and then just give that very strong hip stretch. Keep your right hand dropping back and you're open through the chest. Excellent. Now just come for 2 more breaths. You can gaze to the ceiling or you can turn to the right with the eyes. Good. Actually, let's do 2 more breaths. A little further pull, coming over that left side. Wonderful. And then you can gently release that knee. Let the right leg straighten and let yourself go again. Completely soften. And just imagine you just saw a butterfly. You know, just that feeling, that flutter, like, oh, yay, there's a butterfly. I want you to just have a little joy spurt there. Feel your thoughts that come when you have that feeling of seeing a butterfly. And then you can take that left foot up, take the left foot on the bolster, bring it right beside the right knee. Then lift the heel up, take it over onto the right side. Take the right hand on the outside. Here you go, tipping over to the right. Come a little further, then you can take that left foot off the bolster onto the outside if that works. And come on over, opening that side. Keep the left arm back, dropping, steady breathing. Excellent. Stay with your breathing. Good. Continue to gently pull that knee over. Now there's that edge between the tightness that you might have on the inside thigh or on the outside bum and the letting go. Like come to the edge of the stretch. It's done in a very surrendered way. You'll feel the pull, but instead of trying to work the edge, soften. Soften into the breathing so you can let your legs soften more. Do any little wiggling you need to do. And then on your next in-breath, draw all the way back up. Release the leg and let the leg come right over the bolster. Letting go. Just softening. Wonderful. Completely release. Okay. Now we're going to bend the knees again. Take the soles of the feet together and then let the knees splay apart. You have your calves supported. Your whole body is resting. Breathing, feeling the front body soften, letting yourself go. Take another minute to soften and let go. Very nice. Gently, one leg at a time, bring the legs back over the bolster and let yourself go for a moment. Good. Feel the heaviness of the tailbone. Gently release. Good. Now you can gently change position by taking the feet to the top again, the bolster, and then roll over to your either side and draw all the way up into your seated position. And then here we go. We're going to take the body right up to the bolster. Have your knees just together in front, and then you're going to take the feet to the outside. You have your bum right up. Take the underside arm under, and then have the arm in line with the ear. Take your top arm over and lengthen out of that side. Now, the next thing is, and by the way, your bum is down. The next thing is you might take the leg in front and let the leg come out there, or you might take the leg behind, that's the big stretch, and that will take you right into, depending on where your tension is, like I have a tight side on my right here on the back side, so my right side's getting the stretch, but technically you are working on the top left side, or the top side, whatever top is up, and you want to get that length right out from the side ribs. And that arm being right under is your pillow, and you want this top arm reaching up, back and out. And just get that beautiful deep breath, expanding the ribs. Keep on breathing in and out. Excellent. Breathing. Beautiful. 2 more breaths. Good. Now we'll take the arm down and then pull that knee up, grabbing onto the ankle if you can. If not, grab onto the shin and then send the knee away and really send it out. You might need to take your underside foot out a little further to get a wider basis of support. And then you're going to take your hand right on behind the ear and then take that knee back. And don't take your knee out, as in take it out. We're going to take it down, take it out. But just that sense of the knee coming away. I have to make jokes. Just keep that knee pressing, and then you're actively, I've got the heel right into the bum, but I have no cameraman back there to show you, so take my word for it, the bum is there. And then you want to take that heel down and roll a little bit. Now you're onto the back right side if your right side is down, and you're going to lower down and let your upper body come back. Now the gaze is to the ceiling. Now you have the option of staying here with the arm resting, or you could take the arm up and over. I'm going to stay resting because that's easier for my shoulder. So, but the overhead stretch is like a nice passive chest stretch, like doing half a back bend. Keep the chest opening. The shoulder blade is back onto the top back side of the bolster. And you're breathing in and out through the nose. Keeping your breathing steady. Excellent. Breathing. Great. Now, very gently, we're going to roll back onto your side where you began. Take the head right in line with the ear. Stack the top knee, fetal position, and then take that arm over one more time. Get a good reach over with the arm. Now you're going to tip back, and you can keep your hand with your hand. Tip back, let that top elbow come back. The knee stays there. It's going to lift probably, unless you've got a really good stretch to your left top or your top side, whichever side is up. And really, 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 I'm pressing that top left knee down to lengthen out the left waist to really increase that length there, and stay with your breathing. Lovely. And then you can take the arm in front, roll back to that bottom side, and then take the leg out. This time, you're going to bend the knee behind and send the knee away. This arm is just resting, you're not pushing. And you send the heel back, the knee behind, back, heel pretty darn high to get that opening through your left top hip. And let your upper body go. Keeping the length. Stay with your breath. Excellent. 2 more breaths. Okay. That is about one of the best hip stretches in the quads I've had in a year. That's amazing. So the heel is really high. So do this on your own every day. This feels amazing. Okay, come on back up and just get a little bit even for a moment. The other stretch that's brilliant in this position, just to kind of give you this, I love to give you, poses you could do on your own through the week, is you would circle around. This is one of my favorites. And it's so fantastic for opening the shoulder. So you breathe in and as you come back, and then you exhale forward. A big in-breath. And then exhale forward. Yeah, so that's a good one. Now gently push through the underside elbow. Come on all the way up. And then just do a jump, flip, leap. No, I'm just kidding. Take the bolster to the other side. Somebody's got to be funny. And have your thumb edge of the hip right up. And then you take that underside arm out. Take the arm as the pillow. Knees are stacked. Take the top arm over. Lengthen out from that side. Take a deep breath in. And then you can reach the heel out and your hip is there. Or you may prefer to take the leg back. It's pretty straight. The knee is soft. The arm in line with the ear if you could, so that you can get that long stretch. This is like doing a passive side bend to lengthen the side waist. And you want that leg reaching out. Get long through the torso. Breathing. Good. Keep the breath. Good. In another minute. Good. Notice if you can relax and let go through that top waist, top hip. Steady breath. Excellent. Now you can take that top knee forward. Now just take your hand right to the head, just behind the ear, and then grabbing onto the toes, or the ankle or the shin, and send the knee away. Notice if you need a wider basis of support with the underside leg, and then send the knee out, and the elbow is coming back. So the chest is open, and the weight of the head fully supported, so you get that straight line. And send the knee away. So it's not just enough to come back. You've got to really reach. You gotta really reach out with that knee so you can get open through the quad and your elbows back. I just don't know how we could live without this. I don't know how we would ever feel core breathing, if we didn't get this lower part stretched. I wish that people could know that this is, I'm going to say this is the most important part to stretch. This is your psoas. It starts right here and it goes down like a V on either side and upside down V. And it's actually the closest to your spine from the front. It's not the external abdominals. It's actually, you can't feel it. It's too far in there. And that stretch of that area helps elongate your spine. And so this is such a good place to breathe into. Excellent. And then you're going to take that top arm down. Now you take the leg way behind now. So here comes the heel high. And then rotate that arm over and roll back. So you're on the back left side. You're not on your bum. Your bum is on the floor. You're on your side waist, but a little bit to the back. Get that knee coming behind. Stay with your breathing. Stay with the breath. Beautiful. Few more deep breaths. Steady. Good. Roll back onto the hand, onto the arm rather, and then you can take that top knee, stack it. Fantastic. Now roll back one more time. This is the one where we now come into a full circle. Just so you feel this, we'll do this a few times. Come into a full circle, coming all the way around, opening the shoulder. Beautiful in-breath. Exhaling around. Feel the shoulder drop back. Good, and then the arm on top. Let's take the hand right to the head again. Sorry guys, if this hurts, I have to adjust the microphone. Ooh. And then you can take the legs in, really great. And then you can gently push up. Push right up to seated. And then you want to take your bolster in front. So you're going to have your legs Reach out into a narrow straddle. Take the bolster and press right up into the belly. So not into the crotch, but right into the belly. Take an inhale and then exhale and fold over the bolster. Let your head go. Breathing. Excellent. Breath. And then you can slowly come on all the way back up. That's great. Now we're going to take the bolster right underneath the knees again. So get yourself onto the mat. Let your upper body release back. Let your shoulder blades come under. Release the head. Now bend the knees and take the feet right to the top of the bolster and rest the arms to the side. Feel your low back drop. Feel the back of the body heavy. Great. Now you can take the heels closest to you, as close as you can. It's just a little press of the low back now. And then do that flattening of the low back again. Now your tailbone is slightly off the floor, just about an inch. And then release. And then again, just a little press. And release. Good. And then a little press again. And release. Okay, wonderful. And now you can take the feet over the bolster. Come on into lying relaxation, into Shavasana. Let yourself go completely. And now I get to read to you. So let me look through my little treasure box over here. Yes, I know what I'm going to read. Sometimes things are so good, you have to read them again. Oh my goodness, now I'm almost going to change my mind and choose something. Nope, I'm going to read this. This is the last part of the book, The Intelligent Body. This is my book about the ability to live in an experience of steady consciousness at all times. And when I say steady consciousness, that's a joy. It's an innate ability to be right where you are. Here we go. Keeping custody of your joy. Two characters on this planet who are in constant joy at this time are the spiritual author Eckhart Tolle and the surfer dude Turtle. The surfer dude Turtle Crush in the children's movie Finding Nemo. A runner-up would be Dory, also from Finding Nemo. Dory is a cute fish with an Ellen DeGeneres voice who is curious and has no boundaries. She just swims up to you and wants to play tag. Dear Dory's only challenge is that she has short-term memory loss. She doesn't quite stay in joy as she gets nervous to the point of corrupting it. Still, she comes back to joy real fast. Not being able to hold her thoughts helps. Our task as humans learning to live joyfully is to allow all our feelings to show us how to be who we are and forget poverty, consciousness, fear-based limiting thoughts. Since I first experienced constant joy, I sometimes feel as though no one gets how amazing we are. Does anybody else feel this way? I can feel so alive that I turn into a smiling idiot, and I'm not so sure how to go to the variety store in a normal fashion, like all the other struggling souls. At exactly the same time, just knowing the struggle is an inside job shows me how very connected we are in this painful inner terrain we create. When I was in Thailand, we went scuba diving in the most beatific outcropping of coral. I quickly discovered that you cannot smile largely when underwater, regardless of how awe-inspiring the oceanic display of color is. The more I lifted the corners of my mouth, smiling with fantastic delight, the more the water seeped into my face mask. Sarah has to see this, my daughter, I thought. I felt as though my heart was going to burst. I soon came to realize that it's very hard to feel so much joy, beauty, awe, amazement, and connection without sharing it. It's heart-wrenching not to connect and share beauty each day. Joy expands our experience of life and helps us develop connections wherever we go. After realizing that joy can be constant, I felt displaced. I didn't know how to feel so alive and free and be here in life. Living in joy constantly opens you up. I wasn't sure if living in a closed society was dangerous. Where do I go with this openness? Does anybody want a hug? Joy dilates your senses and there is no turning back. By giving joy its rightful place in life, by honoring that living in joy may be a sacred continuum that can feel isolating at times, I have learned to hone its aspects. I have learned to respect the fact that I cannot view any circumstance as bad or good. A delicate antenna cues me to leave a conversation when talk gets uncomfortably corrosive. And I just want to mention that I noticed that the first time I noticed that I was at a street party, and people started to do kind of off-color talk about, I don't know, it was something sexual, and I didn't feel good, and it wasn't, you know, I didn't have any thoughts about them. I just didn't like what was happening and the direction the conversation was going. And so I just left, you know, and I just made up, I don't even know if I made up a convenient excuse, but I've gotten to the point now where it's so precious to feel alive that if I'm not able to leave, like I really can't leave the situation, I've learned to practice this little inner agency where I go into my own little circus and I review things, and I keep alive the feeling of presence or joy. And I've noticed that it's not an option anymore to engage in something that isn't true for me. So I just wanted to give that concept to you. Living freely means I talk about what I am discovering rather than what a person did or who won the World Cup. Germany won the World Cup last week. I heard that. Do I care? I care about what it felt like for the person who was telling me. That's where the juice is. That's where I get a piece of them and learn what makes their world splendid. A clear mind needs space. I spend more time in nature, silence, listening, and breathing. I respect my introvert. I can't report how the stock market is doing or what President Trump said today. Thank you, Jesus. At times, I feel like the ditz at the party. Yet I have come to see that by living from a place of joy, my mind doesn't spend time on ho-hum data that are not meaningful. I don't even have a vested interest in the activities I choose. This means it's not important that I practice yoga every day. It's that I choose to. This leaves lots of room to practice how I need to. I'll do yoga at the airport, bum, high in the air, before I'm high in the air. This is so good for your circulation before your flight, it's ridiculous. When you get to a point in your day, in your life, or in this moment, when you feel as though you can't do something, brackets, and this can be anything, any aspiration, flossing counts, then know that what you are feeling and its accompanying thought are false. There is no life in that thought. Feel who you are. Who are you? You are the soul holding this book, realizing that you have that question. And you are opening to all of life with that curiosity. Head outside, get on your skateboard, head for the ramp. And maybe you'll get to the other side. Who knows? And by the way, aren't those guys good? The end, not of joy. And that's the appendix of the intelligent body, or sorry, the afterword. big appendix too, back there. Now just continue to breathe. Release into the floor. And then very gently bend your knees. It's going to be so weird to look at your faces again. I'm just so used to seeing names. I'm probably going to see you guys with a name across you for a while. Remember those old, like, this old Date Me, Batman and Robin, and they'd do bam, and they'd have in the air. I'm going to see your names across you when you come back. So now just do a gentle rock, pulling the knees in and roll from side to side. Just feel the whole back of the body in contact with your mat. And you can see the beautiful dusk. It's actually just because it's so dark outside. It isn't getting dark outside yet. And then very, very beautifully, gently roll to your right side. And very softly, draw yourself right back up into seated position. And you can take a moment just to feel your body upright and feel how smart you are for taking the time to practice. And I'm really proud of you. It's sometimes really difficult to feel like you can take the time. You know, you got children, you got all these responsibilities. You didn't get the laundry in, maybe you didn't do the dish good. I'm glad you're here. Have a wonderful night, and I shall see you in your next class. Feel free to join us at 6:30 tomorrow morning.
Hey,
Have
thanks,
a great
Celeste.
night. You're welcome,
You
you
too.
guys.